What's up, everybody? Welcome to the live composing show. This is your host, Stephen Melin. Hope you're having a fabulous Wednesday. Man, oh man, we're in for a treat today because we're going to have some fun. Pardon me while I adjust my mic levels over here. I'm very loud in my ears, so I need to be careful not to scream. Sometimes I do that. What's up, guys? Hope you're doing so good. Man, let's say hey to some people. We got lots of people in the chat right now. What's up, James, Michael, Matthew, Chu, John, Kin, Cupcake, Sammy, Marie, Jew, Matt, Marie. Oh my god, I think I said Marie twice. Hi, what's up, Marie? Man, this is so cool. I love this show so much because this show brings two different types of people. My favorite two types of people in the world: game developers and music composers into the same room. So even right now in the chat, some of you are game developers that I know of, some of you are composers, and some of you just love game music. And it's just so cool to bring you guys together and to have conversations and to make music together. So I'm really pumped up. Today, we are continuing the legacy of Dark Dice. I'm so excited because today is the official, unofficial, air quotes, official launch of phase 3 of the music for the Dark Dice universe. And I say universe, multiverse, if you will, because similar to Marvel, how Marvel is like comic book series mixed with TV and games and film and all the things, right? It spans all kinds of types of media. Dark Dice is similar. And Fool and Scholar Productions, which the team that makes it, they've already made multiple types of media from this series. So I can't even just call it one thing. It truly is a multiverse, and their plans for the future keep expanding, and the talent they keep bringing on for the team is insane. Jeff Goldblum, to name one, as one of the lead actors, one of the lead voices. Last year, you guys watched me bring on David Wise, the Donkey Kong Country composer. We did a track together. Brandon Boone, he is the longtime 10 years running composer for the No Sleep podcast. He's one of the resident composers on Dark Dice. And moving forward, we have some potential collaborations in the works, which I'm extremely excited about. And I can't share the details of those yet, but phase 3 is going to be very special because now that by phase, I kind of just mean a year, right? This is the third year ongoing producing music. And from a scheduling perspective, we've gone through this process of, okay, how many tracks do we want for this phase? And then we kind of do it in bulk, and we go through, and there's a composing process, there's arranging, there's orchestration, there's copy work, which is creating the sheet music, there's hiring the musicians, there's the sessions, there's solo musicians that record as well, and then we throw all this stuff together, and then I do the final mix. And to date, we have 29 tracks. Crazy. This soundtrack just keeps growing. And here we are about to start track number 30 today, which is just bonkers. This soundtrack has been such a wild ride. It's just come from such a cool place, and it just keeps growing and getting bigger and more traction and more momentum. And you guys, listeners to it and viewers and all these things, it's just so crazy. The whole experience has been wild. So I'm ecstatic to write more music. Now today, I'm not technically writing, I'm co-writing, I'm arranging, I'm working together with Travis Vengroff. He is one of the project leads. He's one of the creators of Dark Dice, and he's kind of the visionary. He's the guy you got to run all your ideas past, whether it's audio, visuals, sound bites, whatever, just all the things. He's the guy who created this world, and he's kind of like the Stan Lee of Marvel, right? He's the guy who kind of has all the characters in mind and all the environments and all of the lore and all of the history and all these things. So he is absolutely a phenomenal person to work with, and he's a great friend. I've worked with him for about 8 years now on tons of different series. And this one is kind of the culmination of what I think to be his best talent and my best talent. And it's just been super special. So if you haven't been a part of the Dark Dice roller coaster, welcome aboard. It's fun. Gotten to work with some really cool people, and to world-class musicians, world-class composers, world-class recording engineers and producers and actors, and like it's just crazy. All like the shoulders I'm rubbing up against is insane, and I wish the same kind of experience to anyone out there who wants to write music. Find you a Travis. Find you a guy who believes in you, in your craft, and you can be friends with and make great art. So all that to say, today is very special because this is the first track out of 30 that I'm collaborating with Travis himself. Now, he would openly say that he's an amateur composer. He's not trying to make a career as a composer, but those are some of his roots. He's actually an accordion player, and he played in video game music cover bands. He has this crazy history of playing worldwide tours and playing with Tommy Tallarico in Video Games Live and all these things. Like, he's had this really rich past of playing music, so he's very versatile in music and occasionally writes songs and has more of like a prog rock type of writing style anyway. And he recently approached me and said, hey, I came up with some ideas, just some MIDI, just some basic ideas. What would you say to us collaborating and you taking my ideas and writing melodies on top or rearranging it, whatever you want to do to turn this into an actual Dark Dice track? And so we talked about it, and we came up with, we want this to be a battle track. And with audio dramas, with video games, with film, like sometimes you need placeholder music, meaning more generic music that can help fill the void. So what it means is like there's not much of an emotion behind it or a mood. It's more like when you're creating a level, you're creating a scene, whatever, you need music that is clearly the sonic identity of the IP, right? We could pick on any IP. We could say Pokemon, Mario, Zelda, whatever, Marvel, right? There's a sound to every single one of those properties. Star Wars, right? There's a sound. There's an iconic sound that there's a mixture of instruments, certain keys, certain elements that make that distinctly that IP. So my job today is to take his ideas and to kind of throw it into the pot, so to speak. And on the other side, it needs to sound like Dark Dice. And that's my job. So with that, the goal is it's going to have a multiple purpose So it needs to be usable in battle type contexts or environment type contexts. And one of the beauties of writing in this style is when we use layers, meaning melody, harmony, background, you might separate it by instruments, you might separate it by mood, whatever. When you have layers, you have stems, at the end of the day, these pieces of music can be used in so many different contexts. You can strip away the drums and now it's like a calm, peaceful track. But as soon as you add the war drums and you add the chuggy strings, whatever, it now becomes more of a battle track. And there's lots of different contexts you can use. So I always try to keep that in mind when writing for this IP. I'm just going to start calling it a multiverse. I mean, I don't know what else to call it. It's like, it's not any one thing. Because this music is used in so many different contexts. It's even used in trailers and whatever. Like anything surrounding this IP, who knows? Maybe one day they'll have like Dark Dice toys or action figures. They already have a board game. They have comic. I think they have like a book. They have audio drama. Working on some other things. So it's just crazy all the different contexts that this music can be used in. And it's all based around Dungeons and Dragons anyway, but it's kind of a customized thing. So with all that, let me open up a Cubase session. So Travis sent me some MIDI clips. I put them all together and I changed the tempo to 144. The whole, miniature line coming. Yeah, baby. I hope I will get the first batch. If that becomes a thing. I mean, these characters are so cool. You saw the thumbnail. That's one of the characters. His name is the Silent One. So many, like the art for this stuff is so cool. So he sent me a bunch of MIDI clips, just like raw data, and they're bad sounding MIDI instruments, and he knows that. But my goal is to like make some sense out of this and do something really cool with it. And my job was to make this, and is to make this a 5-minute loopable track. So what I did is I threw the information in. I chopped off some bars because he gave me like 7 minutes of info, chopped it up a little bit, and now I have around 5 minutes at that tempo of 144. And it's currently 4/4 time. I think that'll work. But let me just play a little bit so you have some understanding of what on earth I'm working with and what the end goal might be. So let's listen to it. I'll just kind of skip around a little bit. All right, so there's some pretty cool material in here. I was actually quite surprised at how developed this actually is. And these are just some raw ideas from Travis. Clearly it's MIDI, and we all know it sounds like general MIDI. It sounds bad, but if you kind of listen beyond the quality of the sounds, you can hear some really clean rhythms. You can hear some really clean ostinato lines. Right? I'm thinking of strings. Some pretty clear melodic ideas. Ya da 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 da, something like that. And I think there's some pretty cool stuff in here, and I think it's really going to be a fun track because the bedrock is here, and now it's just my job as like an archaeologist to go through there and kind of dig a little bit and find the little gems and polish them and really isolate the things that work, get rid of the stuff that doesn't. And Travis gave me full permission. He's like, hey, if only 20% of this is actually good, use that. Don't feel like you have to use all the material. So this is a true collaboration where once I finish my portion, I'm going to send it back and he'll have some thoughts and ideas, and I might have to add something or take something away. But the idea is to go back a couple of times and make sure both of us feel good about it and have our due input, and then we'll go from there. So I made a little document that I want to share with you guys. Let me go over to, let me just hide my screen for a second as I go through personal files. Here it is. All right. Did my camera switch back? I think so. I think it switched back. There we go. All right, check this out. Aw, you guys are such friends in the chat. It's so fun. I wrote this out just for my own clarity, because we're about to work with some other composers. We're about to work with some other people who are going to be involved in this project, and they have to have some idea of, okay, what is Dark Dice music? Like, what is this stuff? How does it tick? What are some of the musical terms you might use to describe the sound or to describe the mood or the tone or whatever? So I came up with a list of ideas, and I want to make sure that we're all listening and paying attention, that I'm sticking to this kind of code. Because if you spit any music through this filter on the other side, there should be Dark Dice sounding music. And that's the idea. And this is exactly what I've done with Brandon's music, with David Wise's music, and now with Travis. It's like I'm really trying to, as the lead composer, I'm trying to make sure everything is filtered through one unified sound. That way on the end, it all sounds similar. So just some basic things. I have a very specific instrument set. We're using a small string ensemble live. That's the Budapest strings, 22-piece. And these are the types of techniques we use. Short, legato, consordino, which is mutes, swells, and aleatoric effects. So like lots of scrubby, spidery type effects. Medium choir. We've been using a live choir, Budapest choir. Lots of shouts, lots of beautiful legato lines. Multiple languages, Icelandic, German, Infernal. Aleatoric effects with them too. A lot of these tracks, I'm not sure if you've gotten to hear all of them yet, but some of these tracks, in fact, you've only heard like 5 or 6 of these on these live composing mixing shows. But some of the later tracks that I've been mixing have these crazy, absolutely insane, I call them chicken pox, where like the choir is just going, making all these crazy sounds. And it's this like horrific ambience in the background of the track. And they scoop up and they scoop down and they go big and they do these weird syllables. It's like, it's aleatoric. It's random. It's crazy music. And it's absolutely haunting, and it matches the perfect. So cool. Some other instruments that are featured, solo instruments throughout the soundtrack. Hurdy-gurdy. We have on every track just about melody and drones. We have hammered dulcimer, solo violin, solo cello. And then depending on the region of the world, most of the colder areas, the north, as we're calling it, the North Realm, features ethnic woodwinds. So duduk is a big one, which one of the questions of the chat is, what does that sound like? If you remember Chronicles of Narnia, it's like a low clarinet type of wooden instrument. Very beautiful, very haunting, very nasally. Native American flute, recorder, and toyo, which is a bass pan flute. So like these really earthy sounding woodwind instruments. And then beyond that, just minimal percussion, drums, bells, shakers, metals, minimal atmospheric synths and pads. So this is like the absolute least priority, is like synthy stuff. It's only for atmosphere. But the important thing for today is, what are the common musical techniques? Well, we're trying to use the octatonic scale when possible, which are tritones and half steps. If not that, we use the natural minor scale. We use a lot of open fifths and spread out voicings, thick string chords. For slow tempos, we're usually around 80 BPM. We're doing environments and towns. Or we are faster tempos like 150, and it's a big battle theme. So even today, for today's track, I already naturally set the BPM to 144. So that was just kind of an innate, visceral reaction, because that's just kind of the pattern that we set. What else we got? You can't see this yet. There we go. Down here, last couple things. For environment and town tracks, I like to stick in 4/4 and 3/4 time signatures, really beautiful melodies. And then for battle themes, so that's like today, almost all of them have been in 6/4 time. So today's going to be an exception because Travis started with the material and he chose 4/4. So we'll see how that goes. But 6/4 is usually where we hang out to be very sinister with our battle themes. Soundtrack influences. These are like the 4 soundtracks we always refer to when we need some ideas. Dark Souls, Bloodborne, The Witcher 3, and Final Fantasy Tactics. So you'll hear a lot of those influences in the writing style as well. So that's really the goal, is to stick to that. And if I can do that, great. And one of the easiest ways to ensure that is to have a template. So this is my Dark Dice template where I already have all those instruments laid out, organized by section, and they each have a reverb aux. That way I can very easily go over here and turn all the percussion up or down, all the strings up or down, and they're all just sent to a reverb send right here on this aux. So it's a really efficient way of writing music, and it ensures that every track sounds the same, no matter who wrote it in this case. So let's write some music. I'm missing a lot of the chat here. But Michael says in the chat, a limited set of instruments and note ranges is an intelligent choice. You'll set an identity to the game soundtrack. 100%. There you go. He also says, try the Locrian with natural sixth for darker fight themes. You'll find it useful. That's cool. And hey, what's up? We got Full Boy, Jack. I'm sure lots of others that have popped in here that need to say hey in the chat. And while you're there, hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. I don't usually say that, but there you go. Boom. Do it. Do it. All right, so I'm not going to really touch this MIDI. Excuse me. I'm actually going to mute all of these tracks. That way I don't accidentally, hear them. But I want to start copying the MIDI information down. So I'm actually going to color it. So let's make it something ugly like, I don't know, neon. Ooh, that's hideous, right? That way I can't ignore it. But the goal is to actually start. Oh no! Who said my camera could turn off? That's dumb. Uh-oh. Well, we'll see if that keeps happening. Maybe if I do that. That was weird. But is there a delay now? Talk. Let me know if there's a delay in my video, because it literally just cut off. We'll see. That's never happened before. Anyway. All right. Hey, thanks for subscribing. Oh, Michael, what have I missed? If you've missed anything, go back in time. There's this magical rewind button that YouTube has. Anyway, before I actually compose anything, I want to arrange, meaning I want to try and see which of these elements will work in another area. So, for example, this little chuggy chug, let's see how this sounds in strings, because it feels like it's just begging to be a string line. Down here, no clue. I'm going to give myself one bar free. So let me take everything and just shift it over a bar. I really like having one bar free for MIDI sake. So I am going to shift everything literally one. And then we're going to create a couple markers here. Whoops. There we go. So I'm just going to call this negative. And then here, in for first bar. That way I can always go backwards one, get my MIDI set. What are we using today? This is Contact something or other. It's a cool sound. Omerta in the chat says, how do you make your keyboard sound so amazing? Oh my gosh. Well, I'd show you. There it was. Oh, I didn't know I was using that today. Cool. Albion 2, Loeria. This is the Tom's patch. Pretty solid. I don't usually use that patch. But apparently I just called it Orc Perk. That's a good tempo. That's a good beat. Let's roll with it. I'm going to turn that way down, though. Here we go. Let's get the metronome on. That beat, that's pretty solid. I don't want too much happening, but I like this idea of like earthiness, slapping those downbeats. It's a cool ostinato. That's good job, Travis, if you're watching. He's a busy man. I don't know if he can make it, but that's fine. That's what I wanted. Sounds like a lot of these are suffering from not enough velocity. I shot myself in the foot with the velocity because some of these, I'm just going to do this individually. I don't want them all to be the highest velocity. I just want to kind of bump up some of the lowers so they're not too quiet. Oh, Travis is not shy. He's a crazy busy dude. He also lives in Germany now. So our time zones are quite different. He's probably having dinner. All right, let's get the rest of this drum beat. All right, that should be good for now. Now, anytime you have a drum beat, that's pretty loud. I always like to EQ things. So everything has its own home, has its own space. So this is a very low to mid heavy sound. So I'm really going to focus on attenuating, meaning taking away, scooping out any of the frequencies I'm not actively using. Sounds pretty good. So meanwhile, I'll do the same beat, but down here, this end of days patch is like purely low end material. Yeah, don't mock Travis. He'll come and get you. I like this idea of just downbeats being the big, powerful hits. And that'd probably be a good spot to break from percussion or move to tambourines or something that's a little bit less powerful. Pretty solid so far. So now I'm just cleaning up the MIDI. Oh, I'm going to encourage Travis to go back and read all the comments, so you better watch out. And when I say he's coming for you, that's not a threat. That's he'll add you to he'll make you a character in one of the episodes or something. He'll make you like a werewolf creature or something. It's a really solid ostinato. It's super cool. And we can keep a drum line. I like that. Something like that to give it some more high end. I missed a couple. One more try. Cool. I like this because that's such a good ostinato for this exact use case, because it's not overly epic, it's not nice, but it's kind of like normal combat. It's kind of feel. Oh, I'm just a puppet. I guess these can all be eighth notes to make it easier. Chaka, 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 chaka. Great question from Michael. Quantizing, every DAW does it differently, but in Cubase, I can use this right here as my grid to change what I visually see, and then when I'm inside a MIDI clip, whatever I select, I can change to a different, whatever the heck I want it to quantize to. And then on this left side, there's even more granular options about MIDI on and off. Really, really cool. You can quantize the links and all that kind of stuff. So, big fan. I love Cubase. Has every feature I could ever want. and lots more that I don't want. So it's so deep. Okay, let's keep going because I don't get lost. I'm guessing we're in C minor. So a good old big C. No, 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 no. Nope, we're in Marie. No, it's Jew. Jew's the one that has the perfect pitch and makes fun of me all the time, as of late. So it's E flat, D, G. So I guess we are in G minor. G, 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 G. See, she knew way before me. It's funny because I'm a professional composer and I don't even know my notes. It's really funny. It doesn't hold me back in any way. It's just I don't have perfect pitch, so I don't know when I hear notes. I just have to sing it and find it. Kind of quiet. Why are they so quiet? That's why. They're like turned literally 15 dB down. That's dumb. About to get way louder. So I like this. I have to be careful. I have a couple cuts on my fingers today, and it really sucks playing keyboard. So I'm playing with really odd fingers today. If you're like, that's not correct posture. Well, that's why. Playing with every finger that's not my two cut fingers. I'm gonna be like over here playing all pinky. So stupid. But it's kind of inevitable. I mean, if you're gonna play fast, you have to use your thumb. Thumb's where the cut is. Oh, it sucks. I had some really bad hand cuts over Christmas time, and I couldn't play any instrument for about a week because like it hurts so bad. I hate getting cuts. Cold weather does that to me. Let's be careful. All right. Back to the show. Okay, my whole purpose behind that is I'll call these high strings, even though they're like violas. Like violas can't go that low. This is a very awkward line because it has to be cello. Travis wouldn't know that. He doesn't, I mean, why? He wrote it for like a MIDI instrument. But idiomatically, this is a hard line because violas can't play it. It's too low. Maybe that's why I wanted. So I need to transpose everything. Because I want the left hand or like the low strings, bass, cello. I want this voicing is what I'm trying to say. Which is a G, D, G, 151. And I want the middle note to go up to the flat 6. To kind of give the change of tonality. But the question is, it's such a good ostinato because I'm thinking of Fire Emblem or Final Fantasy Tactics, any of these games that it's just kind of the enemies attacking. That's kind of what this music is. It's like, it doesn't really have an emotion or a mood. It's just kind of like bad guy theme. And I love that because it's not overly epic. It's like a scale of 1 to 10. It's like a 5 or a 6 in intensity, just kind of chilling in the middle. I think it's good to have tracks like that because all my other tracks are like 1s and 2s and 9s and 10s. So we got to start focusing on some of these middle ground. Oh, this is frustrating me because it's a cool line. I'm going to keep it. But the range is really problematic because when we get real musicians to play this, cello can play it, but then cello can't play the low strings. Otherwise, it's going to sound weird. Viola can't play it because it's too low. And seconds can't play it. Seconds and violas can play this. So maybe that's the solution. Like that. Maybe it starts with cellos. That's what I'll do. I will expand it as the track expands. Here's we'll break it up. So now I want to copy some things. So now let's bump it up in an octave. Oh crap. Was that in the middle of a phrase? Oh yeah, sorry, my bars are off because I started a bar late. Let me try again. Okay, here. Going to copy. This is going to go an octave higher. And now we can do the chugs. Cool. And this, let's go ahead and label this a new section. Call it B, because this is where things start to change a little bit. Call this A. This track has a lot of sections. For my sanity, let me make these MIDI tracks a little smaller than the rest. It makes good sense to move it up like that because now the track can kind of open up and we're not stuck in that lower territory where all the drums are. It gets muddy. This is gonna be fun. I'm already loving this. What do you guys think? I feel like leaving a little bit of space with the drums allows this ostinato to build, especially since this is the loop point. Giving it 8 bars allows it to build up into something a little bit more intense. Oh yeah, perfect. kind of feels like a warrior-esque type theme, so I think that fits. Not quite like rocky territory, but it fits to have something like that, and we'll double it with strings or something. That's the octatonic scale using a half step. Okay, so boom. Let's do second violins. Something like that. I'll get the chimes back in a second once I solidify this. Yeah. Koji Kondo, the Legend of Zelda composer, Super Mario composer, uses the octatonic scale quite a bit, and it's one of my favorite techniques ever. Cool. So much potential in all of this. Haven't even heard the rest, but it only takes a little spark to get the ideas rolling. Give me a good ostinato and I can write quite a bit. All right, so this part, I want to make sure that this is the first violins now. And you might notice that I'm actually using Tokyo scoring strings this time around, which I'm really excited to use because it's about the same thing as the Budapest strings. This is the closest sample library in existence that really hits the style I'm going for, which is that anime video game sound. And they have a very similar ensemble size. I'm so excited to finally have that all loaded up in my template and everything for all 5 of the string instruments. But it also sounds like I need to really get the what is it called, the track delay. Hear that delay? That's awful. It's like 100 milliseconds off, but that's just strings. All right, now let's get back to the orc chime to double all of that. to note. So I'm trying to modulate or do something a little interesting. There. We'll see what the rest of his tracks end up doing. Let's keep riding the wave here. This is fun. Love Japanese percussion. Actually, that's Chinese, but ethnic. Maybe some hand. What do we got to work with? Sounds like congas. Palette has some really strong percussion. Kind of like this better. Oh, dang camera. What's up with the camera today? I don't know, guys. But just, we'll have to fix that later. But it's just going to keep shutting off, I guess. Stupid. So every once in a while, get to fade to black with me. When's the Jack in the Box going to strike? I don't know. Oh, well, at least it doesn't shut down the stream. Oh, Taro 57 in the chat says, "What percussion pack is this? It's amazing." This is lots of random things put together. It's how you use your libraries. It's not so much any one sound. It's the combo of what makes the music is so fire. Your camera is dying, apparently. Yeah, if you don't have Jade Ethnic percussion, this is like a hidden gem. Not many people know about Strays Off sampling, but they have some kick booty stuff. Jade Ethnic Orchestra. They have some free samples, by the way. You can get like the freebies are incredible, and they have this exact light version. So go grab it today. You won't be sorry. Instead of like all these instruments, you'll just have like one or two. But man, it can make a huge difference. It's all about how you mix the sounds and where in the frequency spectrum you want your sounds to be. So I've already captured the low end, the big thuds with two different libraries. Actually, it's like three samples on top of each other. But now I'm going to try to fill in that mid gap of like the hand drums, the closer. Here we go. This would be a cool groove to kind of come and go, but not to have constantly. So I'll end it there. These are all just 16th notes. Give some energy, you know, behind all of that. And all I've done so far is one patch of strings. There's so much more I can do. I don't want to overload, but let me see what else he has going on. I literally just pulled one patch, which is this one. So let me disable that. So he has a hurdy-gurdy drone. That sounds cool. I like to have lots of drones. Okay, we color that this way. What do we got to work with here? It's like one note. Works for me. So this is a sample that I made myself. I recorded for the Dark Eye soundtrack. It's not for sale anywhere, but it really does the job. It's Johannes Georgian Hellman. He recorded all of our hurdy-gurdies and does an amazing job. And so as part of the recording process, I also hired him to create a sample library with me. That way I can use him forever. That's nice as a drone, just to kind of hang out in the background. I'll try to keep it low. Might also be kind of cool to have the basses only. Just holding a low G. Fun. That adds such suspense. I might as well just do low. Where's my patch? Is it missing? Dang. I guess I'll just do this. I'll just do that because I'm doubling it with the hurdy-gurdy drone. Double basses by themselves will be fine. Even though there's only 3 of them in the Budapest ensemble of 22, they are loud. It's like shockingly loud for 3 players. Anyway, here we go. One more time. And then that's the note that I'm gonna go full blown octatonic. I'll grab my shotgun here. And I don't know where to put him, but right now we're just gonna mute him. This is a collaboration after all, so I'm allowed to generate new ideas too. So yum bum 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 bum. Yay. That's pretty fun. Roll with the ideas. That's pretty cool. Clean that up for a second. Okay. Might have to copy this a couple times. Yeah, those drums sound really cool. I just got way out of time a couple times. Lots of ideas here. I don't want to get too far away from the original ideas, but I think we're onto something pretty cool here. So there's my tritones. Boom, 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 boom. Might be a little bit too on the nose, but just trying to get some drum beats in here. Just cruising along. So these are toms. So now I'm just doing eighth notes. Clearly there's not enough happening in the melody and stuff to actually warrant that much, but tossing ideas, man. So that's just Coligno strings playing with the wood of the bow to get some. was that? Not all good ideas, but not terrible. Cool. That was a nice touch. I love that. Let's do some fourths. But way quieter. Cool. It's a good idea. So he just doubled this. So he's just doubling the string line. Maybe I'll do that here. I'll double the hammer dulcimer. Cool. Listen to that. Secret Weapons is an Omnisphere hammer dulcimer, which is obviously fake, but it's like a synthesized version. I like to use it for low octaves. Where'd it go? There we go. Before my camera just like magically shuts down on me, let's see what happens if I renew it, refresh. Cool, it didn't shut down. Another coolest sound ever. I love, because that's not a realistic range for hammer dulcimer. It's so nice. It's very tinny and it works really well doubling. Like that, like big octave stabs. Let me capture that. All right, since a lot of you are asking questions about my gear setup, I'll save you. I'm asked about this almost every day. So I've created blogs. I don't like doing blogs, but sometimes you just got to have stuff to show people what the heck I use, because that's a common question. So if you're asking that question, check out that link right there. It's stephenmelin.com/myperfectsetup. Studio setup. What is it? My perfect setup. Check that out. Link is right there. I hope that serves you well. It's a link to all the things I use in my studio. I actually do a video walkthrough. I walk around my studio. It's a little outdated. It's like a 2 years old, or a year and a half old. Not much has changed in my studio except for a few additional physical instruments, as you can see. But besides that, everything else is good. So that serves you guys well. Anyway, I also talk about my camera setup and my streaming setup. So if that's interesting, check it out. I just hate repeating myself. But my keyboard's in there, all the things. All right. Here's what that sounds like with that hammer dulcimer. That's so effective. Listen. With a... It adds so much grit to each downbeat. get those cleaned up. Like having the fourth harmony on top. It's pretty cool. But sopranos are not going to sing high Cs. They shouldn't anyway. It's going to sound very shrill. So trying to keep the harmony on the lower side here. It's important to know what it sounds like when it's live. Clean this up. It's a cool line. This is also where it helps to have an orchestrator and a copyist, because they can go back through my MIDI data and clean it up like crazy. Any of these little mistakes that I have, and they will. You can hire people to do that. All right, so let's do 2 of those. Change of pace. It's so driving. It's so needed. This C section right here. Oh my gosh. I love that. Pretty good sight playing. like improv. There's a few little mistakes in there, but geez. So here, this is where the high strings need to come in. And this is where I would just put them in the high strings here. Probably do 2 octaves. Make 1/8 notes, so it's clean. right, let's just call this D, and let's see what else is on the horizon here. So this stuff he's already written. So this already says string short. Very curious about this. So let me... chop up. Let me dissect a little bit. The Travis material. Because there's some good stuff in here. Move it over so I can understand it a little bit better. So I like this string. Let's copy him for some fresh material. Oops. All right, let's get rid of that. Remember, this is a collab, so I want to make sure I'm using some of his material. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I'm going to start there. That's a better starting spot. So that's what, 74. So I'm going to actually chop all of this off. Again, so much of this process is editing. He has a lot of good ideas, but I only want to use some. So let me get rid of that. Kind of pop it back. Maybe. Let me just get rid of that. I'm trying to edit 2 sessions at once, so there we go. Where are we? Here. Okay. Like that. It feels like it's in a different time signature, but it is actually still 4/4. It needs some kind of reinforcement. Something like that kind of gives it a downbeat. All right, the last part was triplets. Triplet, triplet. Let's do those first. Triplet, triplet. Everything else, eighth notes. Like a shaker almost. Should be bum bum ba bum 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 bum. Instead of replaying them, I'm just gonna literally shuffle. I love this little keystroke. I can move all my MIDI around. It's great. I'm trying to hit the downbeats with the end of days, the low patch. Change of pace. Nothing like a triplet to give some finality, some climax. Da, 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 da. Oops, wrong kind of triplet. Eighth note triplet. Please, da, 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 da. Da. All right, cool. Eighth notes to the rescue. Looks good, looks good, looks good. Cool. Let's add some toms. Robin, are you talking to me? You never thought of what? The triplets? Or are you making a joke? I don't know. Sloppily sloppy. Triplet, triplet. Triple, triple. Do, 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 do. Like these hand perk. So useful. That's jade. Whoops, lost my spot. Triple, triple, boom. 10, take a 10, take a 10. That adds a nice touch. Triple, triple. The rest are 16ths. I always think of NES Zelda 1. I feel like this is what early composers were trying to emulate, is drum beat. All that white noise. check that out. Off the beat triplets. What is happening? This is madness. That's really fun. Yeah, Koji Kondo uses that a lot in his Zelda music. Bum bum, the shuffle. Now, we're at the halfway point of the track. It's a 5-minute track, so it's long. So the dynamics need to ebb and flow. So I'm thinking da 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 da. Here should be like a lighter. Maybe I'm gonna put it in the notes, lighter. So. Build it back up. I missed a note, but I'm trying to bring that back, bring that little theme back. Da, 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 no, no. These are all quarter notes. Da, C, D. There it is. See, I got it right, Jew, if you're still here. Stop judging. Hey, you called me out, and now I feel the need to, I don't know, up the ante in my note naming. I love chugging strings. Chun, 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 chun. That'd be a really cool moment for like I like the chugging strings. Don't love it, but it's functional. It's not the main event. I want to intentionally keep it out of the way so that I can do something cool with the dulcimers. Eh. Hey, I love Zelda, so sneaks in, let it be, let it happen. Oh, boo stinky. This is so weird. It's timing out somehow. Whatever. So keep these low Gs. All right. This needs to be calm, not so crazy. That is the Zelda instrument. Majora's Mask, anybody? It's a hurdy-gurdy. It's a real one. I recorded and made that patch. They really sound like that. can also vibrate, but it is a single line. I mean, they're keys. Where's my violin? There he is. So much I could do with this track. It's crazy. a solo cello. Tina, you gotta calm down with that reverb. Hey, everybody say what's up, Travis? Storytelling through sound. He says, I missed a bit of the stream. Had to make... Hey, I told you. He's eating dinner. That was my guess. But this is sounding so good. Yeah. You rock, dude. Thanks for letting me mangle your tune. Trying to make a sensible melody out of this. I love having like a really sulky, emotional melody on top of like this battle energy. Maybe just for the first half. Not my best. One more try. Maybe violin can take it up from there.
Not
some ideas to play around with. Well, Travis, since you're here, ish. Let's do a little bit of a playthrough. This is nowhere near finished, but it's got about 3 minutes of content. That's pretty awesome for 2 hours. One second, guys. I gotta turn off this automation. What's happening? There it is. That's what's happening. I have some bad automation in here. It's screwing up my volume. I'm trying to turn this whole aux track down because it's at +6. That's why it's so loud. So let me just like force it to behave. Do volume. Let me write it. I have no idea why it's doing that. So let's just bring it back down to 0, I guess. Ooh, it's being tricky. How about now? There we go. Let's get back to 0. Toss a few cymbals in here to really give it some power. What I was trying to do is just turn down the perk. It was so loud. Travis, there are some choir shouts and such. wish I could just keep going, but time says otherwise. This is exciting though. So this is gonna be the next section right here, the F section. Section, and it's very moving, like the parts are moving a lot in that section, so this would be a cool place to cut this way. So we just started the F section. Be a good spot to probably copy the dulcimer here, and that'd be a great spot to continue with one of the strings. Oops. Probably here. Here's what it sounds like. Oh, cool. And then it goes back to the beginning part. Can't catch that. So here, not that we need a full repetition of the A section or anything, but it's never a bad idea to repeat something. There we go. There it is. I have to watch myself. Sometimes it's really easy for me to just throw in themes that already exist in this universe, but I'm supposed to write new themes. All right, friends. Oh, man. This is going to be fun. Clearly, this track is not done. I'm at the 3-minute mark exactly, which means there's 2 more minutes of content here to really flesh out and to kind of turn into something that makes some sense. And, of course, this is not done, but fantastic start for just a couple hours of time. So, cool. This is going to be really fun. So thank you guys for being a part. I'm going to end the show here. It's the end of my work day, so I'm done. But I might pick this back up next week and do another live stream. Maybe. We'll see. Perhaps. Because I do have other things to be working on. But, yeah. I'm dead. Like, my brain's dead for the day, so pretty happy with that. And usually the next day I come back to a theme, I just have so much more clarity about what is good and what's bad, and I can just get rid of the bad stuff and move on. There's something about taking a break from your music that when you come back fresh mind and everything, you can hit it hard and make some better sense. So it's going to take a few tries to really make this something worth having. But knowing that the end goal is to get this all recorded by live musicians, that helps me write better. So, yeah, that was a ton of fun. Thanks, guys, for being a part, of course, for jumping into the chat and and hanging out today. And Travis, thank you so much for jumping in for a little bit. Yeah, so I'm going to end it there for today. You guys have a lovely rest of your week. I look forward to talking to you next week. And I do want to shout out, I don't do this enough, Shabam. If you haven't already liked and subscribed to the channel, do that. But right here, for anybody who wants to become a game composer, who wants to write for video games, and actually make a living doing this, if you want to learn my 10 steps to earning $63,000 plus per year, it is a proven system. And even right now, as we speak, there is several dozen composers walking through these steps right now as part of the Video Game Music Alliance, which is a new membership that started last month, and they're kicking butt. These guys are absolutely crushing it, and that is currently closed to the public, so it'll reopen later again this year. But in the meantime, if you want to get some kind of clue about what the heck we're doing and how you might get to start actually making a living doing this and charging proper rates and delivering proper assets and doing a good job and all that kind of stuff, learning the tech behind it, the business behind it, come join, at least download the free guide right there to get some kind of idea. And then later this year, you might want to jump on joining the membership so you can learn some of that stuff, and I can walk with you through that process. So thanks, guys, hanging out. Say cheers, Travis, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. I'll play out what we have just for fun. I always do that. Bye.